but we good. It's gonna take a it's gonna take a minute before people.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna make a quick video then,
All right, cool.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, look, hey, look, hey, look. Right now it's 9 o'clock. We're going live on YouTube on Will Motivation's channel. We're gonna talk about a lot tonight. We're gonna be on there from about 9 to 10. So if y'all not doing nothing on this cold, rainy evening, jump over to YouTube, go to Will Motivation's channel, and jump on right now. We going live right now, and you know I'm repping that Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Yo, if y'all looking for a joint like this, hit up my man Eugene. He got that. He gonna be on the live stream. Hit him in the comments. He got that good. And we about to be talking about what Will Motivation should do as his next joint. He got a Huracan already. He got a Mustang already. He got a Raptor already. God knows what this man got in his garage. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that all on the live right now. So jump over there. Will Motivation. Will Motivation is the name of the channel. Go jump on. Say what up. Let them know you came. Peace.
Yeah. All right, I got the chat window up, and we have 28 viewers so far.
What up, y'all?
What up?
What up?
What's happening?
How many viewers before we get started, Will? I know you got a number in mind.
You know what? We got 31 already. Let me see. I say once we hit 45, if we don't hit 45 in the next minute or so, we can just go ahead and get started. But for everybody that's on so far, what's up? We got Stefan from Mod to Fame. We got Stunna Reese. I'll let y'all introduce yourselves to everybody that we have on so far.
Go ahead, Stefan.
Yo, so this is Stefan here from Mod to Fame. I love this opportunity to be on the channel and talk to y'all, Will Motivation's channel. Part of the reason this man motivates me, so I know he motivating y'all on a daily basis. But quick side note, love that clickbait ass title about girlfriend leaving him, the house, and the car. I just saw that. I cannot get that 25 minutes back, but it's all good.
Hey, that's true story, man. That was my ex-girlfriend. She left me. She actually worked for me in my office, man. She was my administrative assistant.
You should never do that. You should never do that. We gonna get back to that subject in a second. Though.
Right. That's a whole nother live stream. What up, man? It's your boy Stunna Reese, man. You already know, man. We here, man, with my boy Will Motivation. Will, thanks for having me, man. Definitely be glad to be back on the live stream with you, man. About to see what you gonna do, man. We got to make that choice.
Hey, I'm excited, man. That's why I had to have y'all on here, man. Y'all got some dope whips. Y'all had a lot of nice whips. So I'm on the fence. I got the Mustang GT, and really I had my eyes on that Mustang GT 500 that's coming out, right? But it might not be out for another, I don't know, year and a half to 2 years. So in that time period, this Mustang is going to do nothing but depreciate. So I figured maybe it's time to go ahead and get rid of that, since I know I'm going to get rid of it anyway, and grab something fun for the channel until that GT 500 comes out. So again, what's up to everybody that's logged in so far? We got about 36 viewers on here. We're going to talk a little bit about some cars. We're going to talk about Mod to Fame's channel. We're going to talk about Stunna Reese's channel and his new channel that he has coming up as well. And then we're going to talk about some cars. So you know what, man, if y'all want, man, we can go ahead and get started, man. Let me take off this sweater, man. I got all these lights on in here. It's getting hot. But you know what, man? While I do that, Stefan, why don't you tell the people a little bit about your background with your channel, what kind of cars you have had, what kind of car you currently have, like the start of your channel, and then Stunna, if you could do the same. I had Stunna on here a couple weeks ago. We did a live stream, so some of my viewers might be familiar with Stunna Reese. but we can just do the whole reintroduction right now.
Yeah, guys, thank you again for having me. My Defame channel started last year, January 8th, 2017. And it started with me buying a Panamera Turbo, driving 1,000 miles round trip from New York to Ohio. I actually bought that car in Ohio, Will, by the way.
Which one was it? Oh, that Porsche?
Beechwood, Porsche of Beechwood. Bought the car in Ohio, drove it back. And I was like, yo, you know what, man? The stuff that I'm doing in my life, in this car world, I need to document this. Along the way, I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos, whether it was when I was buying a car or whether it was just for entertainment. And one thing that I was able to identify, and one of the main reasons why I started my channel, is I didn't see myself. So anytime that you're in any industry and you do not see yourself represented there, then that means that they're waiting on you to start it. So I started mine that way.
Wow.
But since then, I'm currently, the Mod Defame garage includes my baby, which is my 2001 C5 Corvette, which is all built up. My Porsche Panamera Turbo, my Dodge Durango RT, and now the cheapest Hellcat in the country, which is when we all hung out, when I picked up that car, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, I must say.
Dope. Appreciate it, man. This story actually sounds similar to mine, man. As far as the cars, like I kept changing cars. It's just something I do, man. It's like my affliction. And I was like, why not start documenting a little bit for YouTube? But yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me here, man. You know, I started buying cars at a young age, and when it really took off for me is when I used to shoot music videos, and people used to hire me to bring in cars for product placement and things like that. Like, I used to book my car Dracula, my old school, a lot. Like I said, that car's been in a lot of music videos, Ace Hood, Waka Flocka, Twister, Do Or Die, all different type of people. So I kind of saw, you know what I'm saying, something there, and I started from there. When other people was documenting and putting my cars on, you know, different platforms and things like that, I said, hey, I might as well start doing it myself. So I came up with a DVD series called Dubs and Dimes, started doing that with the models, and just kind of went from there. And that started over 8 years ago. But I actually didn't start doing the actual vlogging until about 8 months ago. So yeah, I went through a couple of different things, but yeah, but now I'm doing it full-fledged, man.
Excellent, man. And congrats as well. And thank you both for joining me. So tell them a little bit about your cars, man. I think that's the one thing I want to make sure people know. Stunna, what kind of cars are you currently pushing on your channel and everything?
All right, currently right now I'm working with 3 cars. All of them are actually projects. It seems like every car is always going to be a project, no matter how new it is. But currently, I got my 1967 Impala SS that goes by Dracula. Beautiful car, silk satin black with red interior. Beautiful car. I mean, legendary. Then I also have my classic 1991 BMW 850i V12 engine. Classic coupe that it goes by the name of 007, and I also have my Hellcat, which is a 2017 Hellcat, and beautiful fun car. I mean, it's got to be the funnest car I've ever had. I've had many different cars, but from Corvettes to Mustangs to just a lot of different cars, BMWs, everything. But this is definitely by far my funnest car I've ever had.
Sweet. Dope. All right, man, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So we're gonna talk cars for a bit, and then you know, if you guys that are tuned in want to comment on certain cars, we can debate those cars. So let me give you guys a little bit of background on also, we're gonna have a giveaway. So whatever car I end up getting next, which is probably gonna be pretty soon, whoever makes the recommendation in the comments first for that car that I end up getting, they will win an Audi R8. And here it is. That's it right there. Audi R8. Nice You know what I'm saying? Nice,
Sweet.
clean, whatever. But anyway, so I'm currently in. I have the Lambo and everything, and the Lambo is like the anchor for my channel. But I also have a Mustang GT. It's a 2017, and it's a real fun car. I love the car. But once they announced that they're coming out with a Mustang GT 500, I was like, I gotta have it, even though it might not come out for another year or two. It's either going to be a 2019 or a 2020 model. So in the meantime, my Mustang GT is just going to be depreciating. So I want to get something exciting for the channel while I wait for the Mustang GT 500 to come out. So my parameters for the cars, and we can just start talking about this. You guys can tell me what you guys think. I love to get your experience as Hellcat owners, especially you know, Stefan, you just got yours recently, and yours is a manual, right?
Yes, sir.
And then Stunna, yours is yours an automatic or a manual?
Automatic.
Okay, so that's a good contrast. So we could talk about.
Hell yeah, I got the man's mission. I got that man's mission, baby.
I want to get y'all's thoughts on it for sure. But let me give you my parameters real quick. So when people start saying what kind of car should be next, let me give y'all my parameters, because I'm not about to go out and get a Bugatti or something crazy like that. So the car must be less than $85,000. My Mustang only cost me like 40 grand or something like that. Give or take 40 grand. It must be something that's got to be fast, so I can kind of line it up against the Lambo and have some fun with it, do some videos. It has to be a fun car to drive. And of course, it can't be another Lambo or another Mustang. So, but it's got to be less than 85,000 and something fun for the channel. I'm not looking for a truck. I already got a truck. But those are my parameters. So let's talk it out, man. So first of all, man, with the Hellcats, both of you guys have Hellcats, and you've had some other cars that I also think are interesting. But let's talk about your experience with the Hellcats. And I don't know who wants to start first. Just talking about once you first got it, what your impressions were with those particular cars.
Stunna, man, you could go ahead, bro. You the granddaddy.
Well, man, ever since the original SRT Challenger came out, and I believe it was 09, if I'm not mistaken, was the flagship year, I've always had my eye on those cars. And I actually, at one point in time, was going to actually pick up one. But I found a great deal on a real rare Celine Mustang convertible 3-valve that I loved, and I love the fact that it was a super rare car too. So I was this close in the first gen of the Challenger when they first came out with the SRT models. But when the Hellcat came out, I still had that Celine. I actually still had it because I kept on held on to that car because I was actually going to keep that car forever as a collector's car. But you pick up another collector car and you got another collector car and then you buy another car. So at some point, something's got to go to upgrade the garage. So unfortunately, I got rid of my Celine and got my Bentley, and I quickly got rid of my Bentley and got the Hellcat. Now, when I got the Hellcat, I wasn't really expecting too much because I was coming out of a Bentley. But when I got the Hellcat, I was so pleased with the car. Like the package that Dodge put together with that vehicle is just astronomical. I mean, on all levels, from comfort to speed to functionality to just the aesthetics, the looks, everything. I mean, just beautiful. And it was just next level for me as far as anything next to anything I've ever driven. And
what was it like when you first drove it? What was it like when you first drove that mud?
When I first drove it, when you come out of a 550 horsepower Bentley, and that thing was fast. I'm not gonna lie, that thing wasn't slow by any means. But when you come out of a 550 horsepower car, and somebody tells you, "Oh, this car has an extra 150 horsepower," horsepower, you're not thinking that it's going to be that much different. but the difference is in the technology and the speed focusness that they actually put into the Hellcat to do what it does. You know what I'm saying? And it does it so well as far as the speed. So my first drive in it was like crazy. When I first got in, of course, I had the just a 500 horsepower one, but I can tell that this car was special from the very first time that I drove it. I mean, just the way it just took off. So I was like, man, this is not a regular car. And I was almost to the point where I said to myself, I can't believe that they would sell this car to anybody without them, without them taking a special course or anything. I can't believe that they just, no, I'm for real. I'm so serious when I said that to myself. I'm like, they must be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because technically, listen, guys, because technically a 16-year-old kid who just got his license could technically be driving that car on the expressway, or anywhere. So yeah, it was kind of amazing to me that they did that. But hey, I was glad to get one, man. So yeah, definitely, man.
Stefan, I got the same question for you. When you first drove it, you drove it with the black key, or you just went straight to the 700 horsepower red key? And for those people who are watching this that don't know, for the Hellcats, I don't know if they do this for any other SRT vehicles, but the Hellcats have two keys: the black one that's limited to 500 horsepower, and then the red one gives it the full potential. So I want to know, when y'all first drove it, did you use the black key or the red key?
Stunna, you could kick that off, and then I'll come in with the answering the question.
Okay, from Dodge, even if you use the red key from Dodge, it doesn't put the full 700 horsepower into effect until you cross over 500 miles. So I bought my car brand new off the showroom floor with 20 miles. So
he's showing off, y'all.
Oh, no, I'm not showing off, but I'm just saying, no, true story. It won't give you the full 500, or they recommend that you don't use the full 700 horsepower until you actually cross over that 500 miles. So I, as a responsible adult, I did that. So on my first drive, but when I first touched that red key and first hit that full 700 horsepower, it was ridiculous. I mean, but I like I said, I can say the same thing about the 500 horsepower key. It's ridiculous. It's insane. Go ahead, Stefan.
So when you buy the cheapest Hellcat in the country, it don't come with multiple keys. So I don't know what the black key looks like. But thank God, when I was talking to them, when I was doing the negotiations, I was like, hey, does it have all the keys? They were like, no, there's only one key here. I said, what color is it? So I only have one red key for this car. I ordered a black key fob, and I'm gonna have it programmed for the car, but that's only for when I resell it later. I wanted to have all the keys. But even if it did come with a black key, I would have been a red key. I also didn't buy the car brand new, so it already had 33,000 miles on it, which is okay with me, nice and broken in. But to answer your question about my experience when I first started driving a car, I had never driven a Hellcat before. I've ridden in them, but I've never driven one. So
I've never been in
one. I had never been next to in a stick shift one either. They don't really exist in the Northeast. You don't really see them. So I was excited about that too, because it's that driver experience, which I'll get back to. But getting in the car for the first time, leaving the lot, I like Stunna said, he said it exactly right. You just know that, okay, this one is special. It's not the run-of-the-mill, it's not a luxury car. It's not a sports car. It's the closest thing to our parents' cars back in the day, being a muscle car. That's what that car is. So when I left the lot, I couldn't believe when I got on the highway, I'm cruising, right? Because I'm learning how to shift the gears in that car, like learning the car a little bit. So I'm cruising at first, but this car is just taunting me. Like, it's like, come on. I squeeze on the throttle a little bit and it pops up speed. And I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I have my boy with me. I told him, I said, yo, you buckled up? You good?
What gear were you in?
We left the dealer. we got on this highway, and on the other side it was closed because it's a new highway that they're building out there in Louisiana. I forgot the name of it. Somebody might know in the comments. But I got on this highway. It was empty. I'm talking about like at 5:30 in the afternoon, but it was empty. Like nobody was on it. I looked over at him. I said, yo, put on your seatbelt. If something happen. I don't know this car well, but we're going to go for it. I had 176 miles an hour within 20 minutes of buying the car.
Dang.
And let me tell you, the scary part was that, you know, when you stomp on a quick car, like my Porsche is a quick car, 500 horsepower, turbo. It's a quick car. When you stomp on it from, 60 miles an hour, it pops. But when you get to around 120, it starts to taper off. That Hellcat, it don't stop. It does not stop pulling. No. And my man, he in the car with me, he was like, yo, this is crazy at first. By the time we getting up around 150, he was like, all right, Steph. All right, Steph. All right, Steph.
And it gets crazy.
So that was my first experience. And then after that, I drove an additional 9 hours to Nashville, Tennessee. And what blew my mind was the fact that I could do bursts up to 160 and then chill at 80, 90 miles an hour and cruising, just cruising for hours, comfortable. Like Stunna said, I said, yo, this is nuts that it felt like a basket case or somebody with multiple personalities, that it could do that, but still be a comfortable GT car. It got me, man. It got me.
All right. So I got a question for both of y'all. If you had, it's a two-part question. If you had $85,000 to spend on a car that you're going to keep for a year or two, so you got to consider resale value, but you're going for fun. What car would you guys be looking at, and then would you take that car over the Hellcat? So I want both of y'all to tell me.
I got a question though. I have to ask, what is the use for this car? Am I going to be using it a lot? Am I going to be using it a little? Like, what is the use?
Fun. Little, probably
just fun.
Little. Yeah, fun. Fun. YouTube, but fun. Not like a utility, like, SUV, truck, anything like that, but fun.
Besides the Hellcat, man, because that would definitely be on the list for me. The only thing that scares me is $85,000. That means I bought it new. And that means you said resale value is something to consider. Well, that's the scariest part, resale value for the Hellcat. But if you want to spend 85 and lower, I'm C6 ZR1 all day. You can pick up one of those cars right now in the 50s, and that car is going to be 50 grand for the next 5 years at least.
And fun factor, have you ever had a C6?
No, I only have a C5, but I've driven C6s extensively. And besides the interior, which is whack, the fun factor of that car, it's amazing. It really is. It's a good car.
Speaking of that, I'm going to just throw this in there while we're on the topic of Corvettes. A lot of people in the comments are talking about Z06 Corvettes, and that kind of thing. And I don't know if they're under, like the newer ones, I don't know if they're under 85K, but I used to have a C6 Z51, and I supercharged it, and it had, to the wheels, it had, I want to say 595 to the wheels, and it was stupid fast. It was, and it was one thing I'm going to give Chevy props for, especially with those Corvettes, is bulletproof, man. I never took that car to the shop for anything, and I had it for a long time. I had it for me, it was long. I had it for about 6 years. Supercharged and everything. Yeah. But go ahead, Stunna.
Oh, definitely, for me, the Hellcat, man, is like just, it's unbelievable. I've driven the regular Stingrays, the C7s. I've never got the opportunity to drive a C6, especially not a C6 Z06. But I mean, I heard they're super fun, super light, super trick. But I really, out of everything that I've driven, nothing compares to the Hellcat. Like, I've ridden in Lamborghini, Murcielagos, and other Porsches, and nothing is just has that wow factor that Hellcat has for me. My buddy had a Porsche Turbo as well, like Stefan. He's got the pewter one, but yeah, the Turbo. I mean, we traded cars. I traded him with my Bentley. We took each other car for the weekend. It's fun, but like you said, man, that for me that Hellcat, man, that Hellcat, I can't see anything else. Only other car I would probably consider, or the other two cars that I would probably consider for resale value is possibly a C7 Z06. The prices of those, that I mean, the incentives they have on those right now are like stupid crazy. You know, so you could definitely find something in that price range for that. And you know, ZL1 1LE Camaro. You know, those are pretty hot right now. But those are the only two that I could even say come close for me.
That's if we talking about like resale and stuff like that, you know, protecting your money. And that's why I suggested like C6 ZR1. Along those same lines of being able to protect your money, I guess if you just want something for fun, other cars in that range. I'm trying to think of European cars because I'm trying not to be biased here. But if you could get a I would say an M5, like a 2000 M5. Those are going up in value right now. They're fun to drive. They just don't have any technology. You're not going to have the same level of, you know, creature comforts, but it is a fun car. You have even E90 M3 or E92 M3, which is the V8 M3s. Those cars are also trending upwards. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, for me, I'm an American. I love American cars, and you know what it is? I love bang for buck. And bang for buck, you cannot touch these American cars, man. Bang for buck, you can't beat them.
Yeah. Now, I definitely agree with you on that, Stefan. Definitely. As far as the bang for buck, you know, I would also throw like maybe a Porsche 911. You can get some of the, you know, Porsche 911s pretty reasonable right now. Turbos, you know, those are pretty fun. You know what I'm saying?
Turbo.
And they hold,
that's a good point.
997 turbos, they held it.
That blue one that I featured on my channel, that car just sold for $82,000 for an 07 997 turbo. So yes, that is also a really good buy if you just want to, you know, have fun and protect your money.
Now, when you go back to the word of fun factor, Hellcat.
We can't hear you, Will.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Will. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, man, like you said, for the fun factor, you know, just doing straight burnouts and drifts and donuts, and it's just, and it's guilt free. It's guilt free, man. You know, when I'm in this, lately since I've been driving this Hellcat more than I've driven my C5, my Porsche. I don't really drive those cars because one, the C5 is tight. I'm a big boy. You know what I mean? I got to worry about where I'm going, where I'm going to park it. The Porsche even more so. I'm scared something's going to happen to it. But the Hellcat, it's like guilt-free, especially since I bought the cheapest one. You know, I could drive it, park it wherever I want. I'm in New York City. So it's cool to just be able to pull up to my spot that I'm going to, hop out, and just, I'm not worried about it. Unlike when I'm driving that Porsche that I'm like, oh no, please don't. Oh God, oh no, please don't.
I agree. You back, Will?
Nah, he not back yet. Still no audio. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's my feeling on it. I am curious to see what Will is thinking though, as far as cars. It's there's so many of them, especially with that price range.
Yeah, he's definitely not limiting himself with a price range like that. Yeah, you know, what most people would think. Yeah. When you definitely talk about, hey, I'm just looking for some flip, for a year or two, that's definitely not limited in your price range. So, but I can't wait to see what he's gonna do with this GT 500, man. Now the only thing
Yeah.
I know he said he wouldn't. You back, Will? Okay, not yet. Okay, the only other thing that I would consider possibly. Now, I've never got an opportunity to drive the latest generation Mustang, but I would love to get my hands on one of those GT 350s just to take one out for a spin. Man, I'm hearing a lot of good things about those cars over the one that I had. That they're pretty nice, pretty quick too.
Yeah, I mean, plus that flat plane crank V8 is the first time that that type of setup has been in an American car. So that's pretty iconic in and of itself. I would definitely be interested to see how it is. It's amazing how far American cars have come also with the handling.
Real talk.
It's amazing. I mean, because we on live, I would never say this like in one of my videos or whatever. But we on live and it's going to go away quick. But the other day, I'm on the highway. I'm not gonna say what highway I was on. I think we got Will back. Yeah, he
Man,
back.
I don't know what the heck, man. Go ahead though. Go ahead.
Oh, I was on the highway. I'm chilling. I'm in sixth gear in the Hellcat. I'm chilling, doing about 80, and I see this silver Porsche come barreling down on me like he's moving. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess it's go time. So I dropped down. I dropped down to fourth. Now I didn't go to third because I didn't need to pull that hard. I didn't know what it was, so I went down to fourth, pulled a little bit, but I noticed he hung with me as I was pulling. So I moved over to see what kind of car it was. So he goes by me, and I'm like, I get back behind him, and it's a 991 Turbo S. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. So now I drop down in third, and he tries to pull off. I'm on his bumper, like on his bumper, bro. Like, and I'm letting off the gas to keep from hitting him, right? So when he sees that, he's like, okay, cool. So he starts making cuts. So I started making cuts behind him. I'm with him. Then he started making aggressive cuts. So I started making some pretty aggressive cuts behind him. Then he did some stuff that, okay, the Hellcat handles good, but it ain't no Porsche. It ain't no Porsche. He did like 3 lanes this, 3 lanes back across, went through cars because his car's smaller. So I just powered my way through. I made my way through. I caught up to him or whatever. Then we got to a nice big open straight where I was able to cruise around him. By about 160, we started out from about 100. By 160, I was a car length in front of him. He got up next to me. He was like, that shit is fast. I was like, yeah. But I say that to say, like, most people would say, yeah, that Hellcat is fast in a straight line. But no, we was dipping and we was hitting some corners, and that big car was hunkering down, getting into it. I mean, plus you got to be respectful that it is a big car. But the handling capabilities of American cars today is way different than what they were. So that fast in the straight line thing is out the window now when it comes to American cars.
Real talk. Testament to SRT, testament to Chevy with the Z01, and Ford with their specialty vehicle teams, man. Definitely doing a good job on these American 100%. Cars now, man.
Yo, that's a dope story, man. Sorry, my sound went out when I changed my camera. I like unplugged it, plugged it back in. But for those people that are on here, we got 87 viewers. What's up to everybody? Thanks for joining us. You're on Will Motivation's channel, obviously, but we have with us Mod to Fame, Stefan from Mod to Fame, and we also have Stunna Reese from Stunna Reese Live, and also Stunna. You just launched a new channel, right?
Yeah, I did. In addition to my regular Stunna Reese Live channel, I launched a new muscle car enthusiast channel called Muscle Cars and More, that I want to focus more on just the muscle cars, supercars, motorcycles, anything to do with motorsport vehicles solely. Because my current channel is so wide range of things, you know, from the live streams, from the real estate to the traveling to the, you know, the things with the kids, the family. It's just so much. So sometimes you know, I kind of lose my passion of the muscle cars. It don't really get the attention that it deserves. So I'm going to do a dedicated muscle car channel called Muscle Cars and More. It should be pretty dope. I'm going to spend a lot of time. That's going to be my baby. I'm going to nurture it from the ground, you know, and it's a challenge for me to do it all over again, you know.
Dope, man. So you guys check, definitely, for those of you that are tuned in, make sure you subscribe to both channels. I'll let you guys both give the easiest way for
Say
people
that again, Will?
Hey, I just want to say, you guys give your channel so people can subscribe to your channel.
So mine is easy. It's
you guys there?
You good, Will?
Say that again.
Nah, we good. So my channel is easy to find. It's mod MOD number 2, and then fame FAME. And the premise.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I got a bad feed or something.
Yeah, you do. It's like echo, but
I think
you want to do it. Reset it real quick.
There.
Yeah, we're
here. We have technical difficulties. I think his internet might be flaking a little bit.
It's that Hellcat taking the internet attention away.
when his internet feed comes back on, I'll unmute his channel. But you can go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying the premise behind the name Mod to Fame is the fact that when you modify your car, people know it, and that car now becomes famous. So when you know that guy, you don't know his name, but he goes to the Cars and Coffee that you go to, and he has those specific wheels, or you know that he got that specific front lip, or the way it's wrapped. So now that car has been modified to becoming famous. So that's the whole premise of Mod to Fame, and it's easy to find.
Dope. Yeah, I love your channel, man. I love the production quality on your videos. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And I want to big you up because that meet and greet that we did in Columbus was thanks to you, and it was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I would not have met Stunna if it wasn't for you. And man, just keep doing your thing. So we're gonna go till I'm gonna say we'll just open it up for questions. Stunna, are you back with us?
Nah, we lost him.
Let me see. I unmuted it. I unmuted it. Let me see.
He got to unmute himself.
Yeah.
You muted, Stunna.
Yeah, I think you may have to. I'm trying. Yeah.
All right. Is that?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So tell me the easiest way to get to your channel, Stunna.
The easiest way to get to my channel is simply Stunna Reese Live. Stunna Reese Live. My new channel is going to be called Muscle Cars and More. Muscle Cars and More. So I haven't uploaded my content on the new channel yet because I'm actually trying to get my introduction together before I launch it, and I want to have my first upload all the way together. So it should be coming this week. I'm actually going to Detroit over this weekend to get some footage of the Detroit Autorama. So that's going to be my first upload on Muscle Cars and More.
All right, so check it out. Let's talk about, so just so everybody knows what the subject is that we're talking about. I have a Mustang GT, and I want to get a Mustang GT 500 when it comes out, but it's not going to be out for another year or two. So in the meantime, I want to pick up something fun that I can do some YouTube footage with and that kind of thing and replace that Mustang GT. So we're talking about different cars. Now, I've seen in the comments, a lot of people are saying like GTR, M4, you know, Corvettes. I've had those cars before and actually kind of recently. So I don't think I want to get another GTR The GTR was nice, man, but I just didn't fall in love with that car. It was fast, but I felt like I was driving for what that car cost. I felt like it was like a $90,000 car, and I felt like I was driving like a $30,000 Nissan Z or something like that. It was just faster, and it looked a little bit more exotic. So I didn't really fall in love with that car, so I got rid of GTR. I had an M4. It was a really nice car, but to me, BMWs, I've had different BMWs, like a 335. I had I forget, C. I had about 3 or 4 different BMWs, and they all are kind of have a similar feel to them when you're driving them, and they're nice and everything. But I don't think I'm gonna go back to a BMW. And I had a C6 and a C7 Corvette, and I supercharged both of them. I forgot to mention that I had a C7 that was supercharged off the rip. Like I got that car when it first came out. I supercharged it. I had fun with it, and then I sold it. And the good thing about that car, it actually didn't depreciate a whole lot, man. I sold it for almost what I got it for. I don't know how I pulled that off, but I got a pretty good value for it when I sold it. So we're talking about what cars do you guys suggest? And we have our special guests here, Stefan from Mod to Fame and Stunna Reese live. So if anything you guys want to touch on before I start opening it up to some of the questions?
No, man, I'm ready to talk about.
So you guys that are commenting on this live stream, do you have any questions for myself or my 2 guests that we can kind of discuss? I'll tell you what kind of cars they're talking about. They're talking about the C63, a Dodge Viper, Ford GT, Lotus Evora, Porsche Cayman 718, Hellcat Charger, Alfa Romeo. Hey, so here's a good one. Somebody said more money, Mopar problems, right? So I have had my fair share of Mopars. I've had several SRT8s. What has been you guys' experience so far with the Hellcats as far as repairs and reliability?
I'll go first. As far as me, like I said, I bought mine off the showroom floor. I have had 0 problems. The only problem I think is that my tail light, one of my tail lights, need a slight adjustment, which is just basically just simply unloosening the screws underneath the trunk panel and readjusting it and tightening it back up. But other than that, which I could do myself, but I'm gonna take it to the dealer just so they could document that it had to be done. But other than that, I haven't had any problems, and it's not a problem. It's just something that kind of gets on my nerve.
So on my side, you know, my experience is gonna be different buying the cheapest Hellcat. But anyway, I made a video recently and said that my Hellcat is broken. Well, this is a Will Motivation live exclusive because I didn't put out the next video, which says that it threw a check engine light and it started misfiring, but it was only because the O2 sensor went bad in the left bank. So those cars are they're hypersensitive to its readings, and it does everything it can to protect the motor by all costs. So it sends it into like a limp almost, and that's what happened. So that's why the car wasn't acting correctly, and that's why I think my burnouts, I was stalling on my burnouts because there was something wrong with the car. Not that I don't know what I'm doing, but anyway, besides that, reliability, man, y'all saw I drove that car. And if you didn't see, check it out. I drove that car from Louisiana to Nashville to Ohio to New York, and not babying it either. We're talking about racing, everything. Then the next weekend, took the car down to Philly, then back to New York, and I've just been driving the car all over. And I could tell you, man, there's no way in the world that there's ever been a product of a car with this much horsepower that, I mean, we talking about supercar power and everyday car reliability. So more money, more problems is not the case with this particular car. And if it is stuff, it's simple stuff. It hasn't been anything I mean, I'm had a car longer. I just got it, but I mean, we talking about 4,000 miles already, almost. Yeah, 4,000 miles.
So somebody asked, did you guys finance or buy outright or lease your Hellcats?
For me, I leased because of the simple fact that that wasn't really the car that I want. I wanted a Dodge Demon, and I pretty much knew off the rip that that's what I wanted. But when I went to get it, they were putting an extra $50,000 tax on
Whoa.
it, and I love the Demon, but it's not really a $50,000 price increase car for me. So I chose to lease this one because my friend owns the dealership, and the lease deal that I got is ridiculous. To say the least. To say
You had
the
to
least.
invite them to some of your parties.
Oh my God, ridiculous. So I got he hooked me up so crazy. I mean, it's crazy. But I went on ahead and did it because he said, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of you on the next one, which could possibly be." And I've said this publicly on my channel, the wide body Hellcat. They didn't have those in stock when they weren't out yet when I went to pick my car up. So he said, "I'm gonna take care of you on this one, and just make sure you come back and get your next one from me, whether it be a Demon or the wide body Hellcat." So I told him, "Cool."
Dope.
So for me, I finance. It's a used car, so leasing is not an option unless you're talking about some sort of a balloon finance, which a lot of BMWs you see are that they're balloon finance. But no, mine is a finance. I finance through PenFed. My interest rate is what is it, 3.9, and it's over 72 months, so the payment is 700. I think it's like $700. So yeah, I finance mine. So that's the cheapest Hellcat. That's with no money, no money, no money, no money out of pocket.
So speaking of leasing versus financing and versus buying outright and that kind of thing, why don't y'all? Because like for me, when I started looking at YouTube and some of these exotic cars and stuff, I always would wonder, what does this person do to afford this car, especially when I was younger. So just for everybody that's tuned in and everybody that might watch this video later, why don't you guys just talk a little bit about what you do to be able to afford your Hellcats and some of your other nice cars that you had in the past?
So me, I'm a working square, corporate America by day, and YouTube and fun by night. More specifically, I work with businesses setting up their HR administration, and yeah, pretty boring stuff. But I'm good at it. I'm good at the boring stuff, which allows me the freedom to be able to have 4 cars and make videos for you guys. Because right now, YouTube ain't paying me no money, so everything that you see right here is an investment into YouTube. Every video you see, the high quality production, it's all an investment. And it's just because I want to bring you guys really good quality. And hopefully one day that return will come where I can pay myself back. So subscribe if you will, please.
Hey, but you know what? You told an interesting story about a business that you own related to cars, and then also about some events that you might have in the future. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I did have a previous business. Before corporate America, I have a lot of experience in the automotive industry because from '08 to 2014, I ran a custom wheel company, and that story is a whole live stream in and of itself because my brother and I started that business. 2 young guys from the hood who had no prior business experience to growing a multi-million-dollar business with employees in different countries, and then failing that business miserably and having to start all over again a few years ago, actually. So that's a whole nother live stream. And man, I think that's going to be a big one because my wheel business was pretty well known.
that's dope, man. Hey, but I know I like to say when instead of that kind of thing being a failure, it might be a setback, but more than anything, I'm sure you learned a lot from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
He
I
took the
always
words right out of my mouth.
Business again.
It took the words right out of my mouth, Will. You know, for me, I definitely don't see that as a failure. I see that as a learning experience. And,
Right.
you know, Will basically, he summed it up, man. I think that it was just a learning experience and you learned something from that. Trust me. So,
So tell us a little
100%.
bit about you know, what you do to afford the Hellcat and you know, some of the other nice cars you have, Stunna.
for me, I do a couple of different things. I'm self-employed. I do real estate flips, me and my wife. I also promote parties weekly. I also throw concerts and car shows yearly. So I do a couple of different things. I also got a couple of other side hustles that I do on a smaller level. But I just pretty much, you know, try to put my eggs all over and you know, just see which one of them hatch. Yeah, so that's how I make my money.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Everybody that's probably tuned in, they probably know my story, but for anybody that might be tuned in that is not subscribed, um, I went to college to become a software engineer, and I did that for some years. And I started a website, sort of like Facebook for HBCU students and graduates. And then companies started advertising on my website to recruit those students and graduates. And then I started investing in real estate. Probably about how many years ago? Probably like 2010. And then once the real estate started doing good, I started, you know, dabbling in different cars and stuff like that. But I think most people kind of know that story. But I appreciate you guys sharing that insight with the audience, because a lot of people are saying that they were going to ask that question. Somebody asked how old we are. I don't know if y'all want to get into that.
I'm cool with that. I'm 34.
So
I'm a
I'm
baby.
I'm 100.
Yeah.
I'm 28.
No, I'm just no, I'm 45.
I'm 40. I'm 44. But I'd like to say I'm 28 because that's before all of the crazy stuff started happening in my life, and I stopped counting.
Man, I'm glad to be 45 from where I'm from. I ain't gonna lie, man. What I've been through.
I hear that, bro.
Most of my partners ain't yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy.
So I said I was 28. Somebody didn't believe that. Y'all got any questions for us? Because we're supposed to go from 9 to 10. I know a lot of times people start asking me a bunch of questions about real estate, but I don't want to hold up Stunna, Reese, and Stefan, Mod to Fame, if people are going to start asking a bunch of real estate questions. But you guys have the three of us on here until 10. So if you guys got any questions, definitely ask those questions in the comments. And something that's cool that YouTube just started doing is now the comment stream is actually recorded with the live stream.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So that's gonna be dope. So for everybody that's commenting, your comments will be seen on live stream. So that's what's up. And hey, country boy, I appreciate that. He said he found my channel from the live stream. I don't know if I told both of y'all about my live stream during the Mayweather fight.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
I was watching.
Yo, that was crazy. I mean, that's how I jumped from like 12,000 subscribers to 30 some thousand. And if I had known that it was going to be so crazy, man, I would have prepared for it. But actually, a subscriber told me to live stream. They was like, you know, why don't you live stream your fight party? And I was like, all right. And it just went bonkers.
Nice.
But
hey, man, you guys said some really good things about failure. And the reason why I say like I fail miserably because I do a decent amount of like during my recovery period after finishing that business, I did a lot of soul searching on what was wrong, on why this happened. So I did a lot of reading and stuff, and I read a lot of entrepreneurial books, and most of them said that they failed 6 and 7 times, like multiple times, because they hadn't found what was their calling yet. So I say that to say I'm happy, not how it happened, but I'm happy that it happened, because that business was my baby. It was my baby. It was my life. It was everything to me. And my home life sacrificed because of it. My relationship, which I'm still in, thank God that she's as strong as she is, but which I'm still in, sacrificed. A lot of sacrifices happened along the way. And I'm a man of faith. Like I was raised that way, but you know, I believe that God had to take that from me and make me see that a business is a business and a baby is a baby. They're two separate things. So that failure is the learning experience that I gained from that. I'm happy to say that I failed one because at least I got it out the way and ready to move forward, you know?
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a cool car question. They said, have we ever had any buyer's remorse with certain cars that we bought? So I'll let you guys answer that, and I'll answer last.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Which cars?
I bought a Lincoln LS. Worst purchase ever.
LS?
That car, yes. There was a car called the Lincoln LS. And the reason why I bought it is because it looked expensive, but you could buy them for cheap. There's a reason why they were cheap. That car was horrible. I had the V8 one, and it's basically a Jaguar with a Lincoln body on it. So that car was horrible, man. That was the worst purchase ever. I was trying to ball on a budget, y'all. I was trying to look baller.
For me, wow, any car that I've ever had buyer's remorse on, I can't. To be honest with you, I can't say that. I've always had the ability to pretty much get exactly what I wanted. Had the opportunity to, you know, test it out and make sure it was what I want for the most part before I ever made a purchase. So I mean, I've loved every single car I've ever had. I mean, I think I could probably remember every single car and tell a story about every single car I've ever had. So I can't say I've ever had. Only car I think I might have buyer's remorse. Yeah, I do have one. I do have one. Now that I think about it. I bought in 1996 the Impala SS with the stick shift. You all know that classic just came out. I was actually selling cars at the time. And this was the only time I ever worked for anybody in my life. I was selling cars. Well, we got a 1995 in on trade for a 1996. The 1995 came in, and we actually, what they call in the car business, stole the car. Literally stole the car. Bought the car for pennies for what it was worth. So me being a salesman, I was like, well, they stole that car. I want that car. So I bought that car. Come to find out, the car had very low miles on it, less than like 6,000-7,000 miles on it. The guy said he never drove it. Blase Skippy, woo, 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 whatever the case was. So I bought the car, drove it. You know, a week later, it was a problem with the heads on the car. So it was still under factory warranty and everything. They was like, bring it in, we'll take care of it. You know, I worked at the Chevy dealer, so it wasn't a problem. Took the car in, at the time the car was relatively new. They didn't have the heads in stock or whatever. So it took a little while to get the car fixed. Literally, once the car was fixed, took the car out, got it, drove it home. By the time I got home, the same problem with the heads blew up again. So it was something with the car. It was a lemon. And that's probably why the guy traded the car in, because he knew whatever it was, and he probably had it fixed, under warranty or something. And I didn't research any of that. It was a 95 Impala SS, the one with the digital dash, the only one that came ever with the digital dash. So yeah, that's the one car. I love the car, but I of course got rid of it after that, and yeah, that would be the one car. Yeah, now that I think about it.
So for me, buyer's remorse, I had a 93 RX-7 the same one like that was the star of that first Fast and Furious movie. And it's funny because I bought that car like a year before that movie came out, and that's what allowed me to sell it for what I bought it for. So I didn't lose any money on it, but it was a complete lemon. It was and I bought it, man. I kind of knew. The lady handed me a stack of records for that car for all of the times it had been in the shop and stuff. And I knew pretty much there was a lemon, but it was a pretty decent price. I got it for like 17 or 18,000. It only ran correct for about 3 weeks. And I had it for probably about a year or something like that. And it was a total lemon.
Yeah.
But those cars, those RX-7s back then, they were not, man, they had issues with all types of plumbing and stuff with the turbo hoses and stuff like that. But the most recently, man, I did a video about it, and it actually got a lot of views, and it actually got a lot of dislikes. But I bought a 2017 Audi RS3, and I had buyer's remorse, and I sold it within a week or two after buying it. And the reason why is I had an S3 before that, and I loved my S3. So I was like, but the only thing about the S3 was a little underpowered, and it didn't have enough torque, but it was a 4-cylinder. So I figured when the RS3 came out, it has a 5-cylinder. I figured it'd have a little bit more torque. And it would be, it would drive a little bit stronger and stuff like that on the street. And I bought it for a daily, and I got it, and the turbo lag on it was worse than my S3. And it had a bigger engine. But it was a lot more expensive. And I felt like it was too expensive for a daily driver that didn't behave like I hoped it would have. But that was definitely 100% buyer's remorse. So for whoever asked that question, there you go. You got 3 answers from 3 different people, and it happens. But I think from car guys like us, man, for the most part, I think we like most cars, but you can find something good about every car, at least for a while,
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 10 o'clock, man, a little bit after 10. I want to thank my special guests. I want to ask you guys who tuned in to please subscribe to their channels. Any last words from you guys, and please let them know how to get to your channels.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Guys, thank you so much for the opportunity. Will, thank you for the opportunity and the platform to be on your channel. And to Will's subscribers, I definitely can see why I had the opportunity to meet him in person. And any event that he has coming up, you guys need to make your way, because it's to be able to sit and break bread with him and just chop it up with him. This dude is a really smart guy, man. And you guys are right to be subscribed to this channel. And on my side, if you into cars and you like car reviews and high quality videos, we got that in the bag. So come on over. We'll be glad to have you, and we'll treat you right. We'll show you good content. It's called Mod to Fame, MOD, number 2, FAME. And for anyone on the Northeast or close to the Northeast, June 3rd, we haven't even announced this yet. This is a Will Motivation Live exclusive. Another one. We're having what's called Mod to Fame Fest. We have rented out Cecil County Dragway in Rising Sun, Maryland, and that's going to be June 3rd, Mod to Fame Fest. The tickets are going to be for the low, $20. And come right in. I'm pretty sure it's going to be over 1,000 people, so make sure you come early. But we're going to start promoting this in about a week or so. So you guys got the exclusive first.
Appreciate it. That's dope, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, guys. Like Stephen said, man, Will, thanks for having us, man. Real talk. We appreciate the opportunity to, be in front of your subscribers, and thank you guys for having us. My channel, hey, Stunna Reese Live, real simple, man. It's just what I do on the daily, man. Just different things that I do, from the cars to the, real estate to the traveling and different things like that, to the party, so everything. But yeah, it's just a simple channel, and man, I feel free to come over and check out the channel. If you guys in the Midwest and you want to link up with me, link up with me. That's pretty much it, man.
Dope. And somebody asked, how can they win the R8? So there's the R8 right there. It's not clickbait. You know what I'm saying? It's got the engine and everything. But the way, basically, I'm gonna look at all the comments. So for those of you that are still watching, type in what car you think I should get. It's got to be under 85,000. And whatever car I end up trading the Mustang on, the first person that puts that car on here will win this Audi R8. All right. So you can drive it. You know what I'm saying? It's got good, nice suspension. Nah, but I want to thank Stefan from Mod the Fame again, as well as Stunna Reese. Please subscribe to their channel. I will put the link in the description, of course. And I do plan on going to Stefan's event, which is going to be dope. Tell them the details on the event one more time real quick.
Yeah, So act surprised when I call you out, because I'm definitely going to call you out. But it's called Mod the Fame Fest. The details of it is I am going to be inviting my favorite YouTubers and my favorite Instagrammers to come and race me. So race Cheapo Kitty. Hopefully the vet is ready by then too. I want to take these dudes down, and I want y'all to be able to watch it. So the Hellcat is going down. The Lambo is going down. I'm telling you right now, June 3rd, Rising Sun, Maryland. It's an easy trip. Come out for the weekend, get your hotels. Man, it's going to be a dope weekend, and you're going to see us buzzing around the city that weekend too. So you might get a chance to chill with us. But I'm bringing these boys in. I'm going to roll out the red carpet because I'm going to beat them down.
Make us feel good, huh?
Yeah, butter you up to cook you.
Right.
Hey, yeah, definitely tune in to Mod the Fame's channel so you can be up to date on all the details with that. Definitely subscribe to Stunna Reese Live and his new channel. So, shout out your channel again, Stunna Reese.
The new channel is going to be Muscle Cars and More.
Muscle Cars and More. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe. And like I said, put the name of the cars that you think I should get. I'm gonna check out the comments, and the first person to say whatever I get, they win this Audi R8. And any runner-ups, I'm giving away free merch. So I got some Will Motivation t-shirts. Shout out to Capri. She helped me design them t-shirts and get them printed up. And at this point, I always in my live streams, I like to answer and do like mentoring sessions. So Stunna, Stefan, if you guys want to stay connected or if you want to log out, it's totally up to you. But I'm gonna answer any real estate type questions or business entrepreneurship type questions that pop up if there's any. And if there's not any, then I'm just gonna log out as well.
Hey, look, guys, thank you again for the opportunity. I'm gonna learn more about real estate when the time is right for me. It's not for everybody at every time. So that means I'm out.
Classic Mod the Fame log off.
Right.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here too, man. I got a party tonight. You know how I do, man. Stunna Reese Live, man. I gotta do what I gotta do, man. But thanks again for having me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. I'm out of here, man. Peace, man.
Holla, thanks.
All right, big guy.
All right, bro. All right, y'all. So I didn't want to hold them up for beyond, too far beyond 10 o'clock. But I know a lot of you guys ask a lot of real estate investment type questions or business type questions. So you got me for a mentoring session right now. I probably got another 20, 30 minutes or whatever. If you guys got questions, if nobody has any questions, then we'll just log out. So what's up? Somebody asked a question a little earlier about Q Leonard said, I'm a young black millionaire. I'm looking to get into real estate. What's the best way? I just want more passive income so I can give my daughter a great life. All right, so Q Leonard. First of all, I'm working on a real estate course. So if anybody wants to be aware of the real estate course, when I finish it, what you need to do is sign up on my website so I can email you once it's complete. And that website is www.willmotivation.com. And that's spelled out WILL motivation.com. You just sign up And then once the course is ready, I'll email you. But to answer this question, that's there's not really a short answer to what's the best way to get into real estate. But if I had to make a short answer to that question, it would be you should start studying about investing in real estate. You should start watch all of I have a playlist on my channel of free real estate investing advice. You should watch all of those videos because I'm just giving you my raw experience, and it's all free. My online course that's coming is going to be a paid course, but it'll be affordable. But I'm gonna be dropping crazy knowledge in that course. But you need to be studying up right now. And then there's two strategies that I have practiced. There's other strategies as well that I talk about in my course. But me personally, I have done flips, which is buying a property, fixing it up, and reselling it for a profit. And then I have also done rentals and basically buying and holding for the long term, because there's a lot of benefits to doing investment properties and rentals. Okay, so you want to look at your situation and figure out which strategy might be best for you. Like, so if you're looking for short-term money, you might want to do flips if you're just trying to build up your cash and stuff. If you're looking for long-term money, which it sounds like what you're looking for, you want to start looking at picking up some investment properties or rental properties in good areas that will appreciate over time. I always recommend buying in the middle class. It could be upper middle class, lower middle class, or right in the middle. I don't recommend going too far in the high end stuff, especially for rentals, or too low in like Section 8 and low end rentals that are just for people that are below the middle class. So I go after the working class because that's where you'll find most of your tenants. Okay, but there's a lot that goes into making the decisions on what property to buy, what property to invest in, and like that's what I said. It's not really a short answer to that question, but I'm working on it in my course. My course is pretty comprehensive too, so it's not like something that you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars for and then you're gonna finish it in a day. It's actually pretty robust. Like, I'm going into everything that I've learned, having done, probably 35 different deals or more. I don't know the exact number, but there you go. So let me see. We got any other questions? Do you make more money investing in an apartment rather than a house? From Spooky. It depends, Spooky. Like, it depends on basically how much you're charging for your apartments versus how much you're charging for your homes. So if you're talking about a single apartment or a condo, usually in my market, and I'm in the Midwest in Columbus, Ohio, I usually make more money renting out houses than I do renting out apartments, because apartments usually go for less. There's less of a demand, and then you got to pay condo fees that can get kind of expensive. And with houses, like single family homes, you typically don't have those condo fees. You might have an association fee, like a neighborhood association fee, but it's usually cheap compared to what you pay with condos. So if in general, I would say you make more money renting out a house rather than like a condo or an apartment. Hey, Micah Adams, I had an Acura Legend. It was a nice car, man. But the new Acuras and new Hondas, Honda and Acura, they don't seem to be trying to make cars for enthusiasts. You know what I'm saying? There's the NSX, but the NSX, I think they priced it wrong. I think they should have came in with the NSX competing with the Corvette, like in that 65 to 85 range. But it's way more than that, So that's my take on that. Yeah, and as far as rentals, Demon Durango said good school districts are what you might look for when buying a rental property. John Lee said, what's your take on tax lien properties as an investment strategy? tax lien properties. Oi, Julio. What's up, Julio? What's your take on tax lien property? I haven't done them, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. But a deal is a deal. A deal is a deal. Like if you do the numbers and the numbers come out right where you can make a profit safely, then cool. But if there's certain stipulations with a tax lien, you just got to take that into consideration. But from what I understand about tax lien properties, um, you don't have a whole lot to lose um, if you get a good price on a property, even if you don't end up getting it based on the stipulations. So I like what I know about tax lien properties. I just haven't done it to be able to tell you the ins and outs and the details of tax lien properties. I think that should be a course on its own. And when I get into that, I can launch a course teaching everything about it once I get into it. All right. CJ881-2 said, how do you finance rental properties? Banks always want to raise rates for investment property and they want more down. That's true. But sometimes that, that's still the best option. I finance my rental properties. I either pay for them in cash if it's a cheaper property, or I do use a bank and I pay my 20% down, and they give me 80%, and I think that's more than fair for the interest rates that they charge. And my interest rate is usually around 4. It's between 4 and 5%, where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So I do typically use banks, but for me, it's more than fair because what they're charging me in interest, man, I'm usually making way more than that in monthly profit or income. Or if I do a flip, then I'm really, what the bank is charging me is almost nothing compared to what I will make on a flip. So I wouldn't, the only thing about the banks that you got to be careful of when you say that, like raising rates and stuff, is not getting adjustable rate mortgages or ARMs. Like if you're going to keep a home as a rental property for the long term, then you want to get a fixed rate because as the rates go up, they will adjust your ARM like based on whatever your terms are. Like it could be a 3-year one, like it doesn't change until 3 years later, but then every 1 year, something like that. So I have bought homes with adjustable rate mortgages, but when I do that, my plan is to either refinance it, pay it off, or flip it before the rate starts going crazy. All right, but I still believe that leveraging banks, them giving you 80% of the money is more than fair compared to like hard money lenders. Hard money lenders, man, they'll tax you to death, and interest and everything, way worse than a bank. So either you got to come up with your own money, or you got to figure out how to borrow it, or you got to get something even way more creative than that. But there you go. So let's see. Next question. That Mods of Fame Fest is going to be lit. Francisco Molina said, we have a property near a ski resort and it rents like crazy. So maybe buying a house or condo near an attraction can be a good investment. Yeah. For me, I'm kind of fortunate because I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and our economy is pretty solid and steady. So real estate just slowly goes up over time. Like it has gone down, but I just bought property when it went down and then just ride it back up. Jace and Levis or Levi's. Is it better to build a house? I'm sorry. Yeah, it said, is it better to build a house from the ground up to sell or buy one and hook it up? I say it's easier to buy a house and hook it up, right? Buy a house, fix it up, and then sell it is much easier than building a house from the ground up. I'm building a house for the first time from the ground up right now, and it's not going smooth. Like it's not going smooth. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm stuck trying to get plumbers, and contractors are notorious for jumping on a job just to lock you up and start doing work. but then dragging it out for too long, and you gotta be on them. So like I'm dealing with that right now. I'm going through plumbing and stuff. Once you get past drywall, it's easy. But before drywall, man, you got to deal with these contractors that if they're good, they have a lot of clients, so they're busy. And if they're not so good, you might not even know, until you deal with them, and then you find out the hard way. So definitely buying a home, fixing it up, and selling it is much easier than building one from the ground up, unless you have some type of expert team that gets it done, and they're proven to get it done for cheap. But there's quality. All right. So Demon Durango said, what should I look for in dealing with commercial lenders? So when you say commercial lenders, like for me, I'm considered like a commercial lendee. So like I have a commercial loans for my residential real estate properties, right? But they're regular banks that are doing mortgages on homes. So, it's nothing special. You just want to look for the banks that have the best terms, that can do fast closings, that have a good reputation with realtors and title companies. That's who can tell you if a bank is good. Title company can tell you everything. They can tell you if realtors are good and banks are good. So try to network with some title companies. And as far as commercial, but it's not that much different from residential. You just want them to have experience doing commercial though, and know that they, can do those types of deals, because not all banks will do a whole lot of commercial stuff, especially depending on what the economy is looking like. All right, so A Home said, when seeking passive income, what's your limit for having privately owned properties versus having proprietarily owned companies take over all the logistics of everything? That's a good question, because I'm just now looking at that. These companies that basically allow you to invest in real estate, and they handle everything, and you just invest the money. I haven't done it yet. You might have to restate the question, but when you say passive income, you can't really beat how passive, these companies are, that basically they do all the work and you just put the money in. I just have no experience with them to say what are the pros and the cons. The pros are obvious, right? If everything goes smooth, it's passive, like you said. You put your money in, they do all the investing in the real estate, and you get your returns. But usually, one thing that I've seen that's a con is that after a while, your money like matures, and then they give you your principal back. They give you your initial investment back, and then you don't make any more money off of that particular project. And if you owned your own home that was a rental property, you can own it as long as you want. But with those companies that do all the transaction for you, they determine when they sell that property, and then you get your money back. But you still might make a good return on it. So let's see. What's up? What's up, everybody? Capybara needs a new mic. Oh, dang, my mic is messing up. Man, is it still bad? Yo, is it still bad? Somebody talk to me. Let me know if my mic is bad. I don't know if it's my computer or what that does that. But yeah. If anybody wants to email me, my email is get@willmotivation.com. And to Robert M, he said, what do I recommend for someone who has a business idea that they are looking to get patented? Look for a patent attorney. That's to Robert. Look for a patent attorney, and just interview them and basically ask them how they work, what they charge, and what success they've had. But to do that kind of thing on your own, I'm sure it can be done, but there's professionals and attorneys that's what they do. So if it was me, I would look for a patent attorney. That's for Robert M. Jeremy Day said, "Do I buy and hold in the hood?" No, I don't. I don't do that. Would I potentially? Because like my mom still lives in the house that I grew up in the hood, and I would potentially invest there because that neighborhood actually came back because they got brick houses, and usually neighborhoods with brick houses they might go through spells where they become the hood, but then eventually people want to get those brick houses and make them nice again because that structure is there, right? In that neighborhood, I think that house had a value of like 38,000 or 50,000 or something like that. And now it's worth probably 300,000. Now that it's come back. But for me, the problem with the hood, man, would be like older houses and stuff. And the other thing is, if they're newer houses and it's turned into the hood or something like that, I would try to buy as much of it as I could to try to control the neighborhood a little bit. But it's risky. Like I got a couple of houses that are kind of in this neighborhood that's kind of like the hood, but man, the biggest problem in that neighborhood is the quality of the construction of the homes, not so much the houses themselves. Or the neighborhood like is kind of shifty though. Somebody actually across the street from my neighbor, across the street from my renter, somebody got in a shootout with the cops just a few weeks ago. So yeah, the neighborhood is a little bit like the hood, I guess. But the way I look at it, it's not really the hood because the houses are newer than the hood that I grew up in. But anyway, I typically don't buy in the hood, man. I try to go after middle class because it's the safest, for getting renters and stuff. So what else we got, man? Do I think multifamily or singles is the way to go for rentals? My property right now is single. I like single families, man, because they're less, like if you get in a situation, you can sell if you have to faster than a multifamily. Can you imagine if you needed some money, like what you're going to do if you got a multifamily, because there's not that many buyers typically for multifamily properties as there are for single family. So I like single family because I got flexibility. If I need to sell one and pay off some taxes or refinance one or whatever, they're just easier to work with. But if you're going to hold something for a long time and you're not worried about that, then the multifamilies could be the lit. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to get my hands on an apartment building, like a 10 unit or a 20 unit would be sweet, but there's just not that many of them where I'm at. So I haven't really got into it. So yeah. Somebody said, would I ever rent out my car? The Lambo? No, I wouldn't. I would not rent out the Lambo. My email is get@willmotivation.com. All right. So, but the best thing, sign up for my website's willmotivation.com, and I'll email you guys when the course is ready. CJ81 said, did you write up your own leases or did you buy them from Staples or a place like? No, I looked up lease agreements that are valid here in Ohio, and then I just kind of massaged them into my own version. I didn't hire a lawyer for that. I just kind of looked up some stuff online, and a couple of the condos that I've owned, they had a lease agreement that their lawyers did, and so I kind of worked some of the wording out of that. But I got a college degree and stuff like that, so I was confident in what I was doing. But if you're somebody that is not that confident, putting pen to paper and drafting up a contract, you might want to get some help with that. All right. Spooky says, is it better to buy a house that's foreclosed? I like foreclosures. I bought a whole bunch of them. Most of my houses were foreclosed at one point in time, and then they went to Housing and Urban Development Department, or HUD, and I bought the houses from HUD through auctions, online auctions that my realtor would place my bid, and then I would win the house. That's how I got most of my houses. All right. So, all right, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna let you guys get back to your weekend, and yo, I'm gonna make a move with the Mustang into a new channel vehicle, something fun. Like it ain't gonna be a Bugatti or anything like that, but it'll be something to give us some entertaining content for the channel until that Mustang GT 500 comes out. So again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And the online site is willmotivation.com, www.willmotivation.com. All right. So love y'all. Appreciate you guys. And look forward to helping you guys out more with the real estate stuff. Thanks, Al X, for always being supportive. Appreciate that. Thanks, Cappy, for tuning in, and Julio, and everybody else, man. I appreciate you guys. Hamza, you know, all y'all cats. I appreciate it. Robert M, Hellcat Dreaming. Yeah, I like that Challenger wide body, man. I do. I ain't gonna lie. Appreciate y'all, man. All right, man. Enjoy you guys' weekend. Be safe. Peace. Mike Spam guy, shout out. All right, y'all. Tuning out.